Alright, today we're going to be covering and reviewing paint pressure pots and paint pressure tanks. We'll cover the various options out there, give you some ideas of costs of various tanks, show you some of the options and configurations that are available, and help you so you can better decide which kind of paint pressure pot might be right for your needs, and cover some of the main reasons that prices might vary significantly from a $100 paint pressure pot from Harbor Freight up to a couple $1,000 ASME certified pressure tank. So you have two sizes of a variety of sizes actually of paint pressure tanks you can use. In general, you want to choose a paint pressure pot that will hold enough volume to let you complete a job, but will not put restrictions on you in relation to pot life if your paint has a certain amount of time before it cures, and also isn't excessively large so you don't waste too much paint. This here is a 2.8 gallon, 80-pound rated Binks paint pressure pot. The part number on a tank like this is an 83Z-220, and it comes zinc plated, which is decent for a variety of materials and can be used with waterbornes if you use a liner inside of it. Has the dual regulators. Dual regulators help to allow you to be able to control both fluid and air. The first regulator here allows control of the fluid, and the second regulator here controls your air to your spray gun. Two regulators are useful if you're planning on using it as a spray for spraying materials. If you're going to use the paint pressure pot only for material transfer or maybe a resin casting or vacuum degassing a material, you would want to consider, you can use just a no regulator version or even a single regulator for material transfer. 2-gallon pots, some of the benefits you get with a higher end pressure pot like this one here. It's ASME rated. This particular pot is an 80-pound rated pot, meaning it's been certified that up to 80 pounds of pressure in the pot will have no issues occur and you can use it safely. There are also 110-pound rated pots, which any of the larger Binks pressure pots, like this one here, which is a 5-gallon pot, will accommodate up to 110 pounds of pressure. If you need a vacuum rated paint pressure pot, you want to make sure your pot that you're considering would have a vacuum rating. Typically 1 atmosphere is a common negative pressure rating for a pressure pot. Both these pots are rated. This one's rated for -1 atmosphere. The 110-pound series is rated for that. That's good if you're degassing a resin, pulling a vacuum to remove any bubbles in a coating, similar uses like that. Lower price paint pressure pot, you're not going to have an ASME certification, which basically means there's no quality standards in place by the manufacturer helping you to know whether or not the pot will withstand regular use or work. Additionally, with a pot like this, you'll see that we have a variety of parts that you can rebuild and replace. So the regulators you can repair or replace. The gauges are also repairable, and that allows you to use this pot for 20 and 30 years without incident. They do have liners available, which are replaceable, which allow for quick changes of coatings. You simply just throw this out when you're done and then replace it in the pot and you can move on. We'll go ahead and show you the inside of the pot as well. Something that commonly is asked is whether or not you can work out of smaller containers with a pot like this. So yes, you can. The standard, as they come standard, the pickup tube sits about a 1/4 inch off the bottom of the pot. We'll show you that. It's hard to see, but we'll give you the best we can. And if you need to, you can always cut your fluid tube down so that you can work out of smaller containers. You can also buy an extra pickup tube for $24 or $25 and be able to use that when you need it and then leave the long stem in for a majority of your work. when you have an agitator on your pot, there's two primary styles of agitator that can come with a paint pressure pot. On a smaller pot, like a 2-gallon pot, you would have what's called a direct drive agitator, where the air motor is directly contacting the shaft for the mixer. Those work for smaller material. As you get into a larger paint pressure pot, there's gear reduced agitators, where the air motor is connected to a series of gears, which helps translate power to the agitator. That helps you from wearing out your air motor. There's a variety of agitator shaft types that you can get depending on your material. Most common is just a standard blade, but there are a variety of other options if you need specific requirements for mixing. Additionally, if you need a bottom outlet kit, which allows you to put legs on the bottom of a paint pressure pot, we don't have one installed on this unit, but with the larger tanks, at least from Binks, you can get a leg set and a bottom outlet kit. What that allows you to do is feed material from the bottom. A standard paint pressure pot, you put air to it, the material comes out the side over here, but if your material is particularly viscous, or you just know that you need the material flow from the bottom outlet kit's available for these larger tanks from 5 gallons and up, so you can just install it. One common misunderstanding, even though this is a 5-gallon pot, the reason they name it that is it's designed to allow you to put a 5-gallon bucket right inside of it. We'll show you that. But you can also put up to 9.8 gallons of material in it. 10-gallon pot holds a little more material than this, but essentially just make sure when you're looking at pots, if they're labeled as a certain type, they might be referring to the fact that it can hold a container freely. You can see here the gauges, some options that you can get with a pot as well. These are 0 to 100 pound gauges, as you see. You can get a pot that has more sensitive gauges, meaning that they don't go up as high. And what that allows you to do is have finer control. Where that's important is if you're using thinner materials, like a lot of wood finishes. Stains, for example, are very thin. And those can be troublesome to properly control pressure. So if an extra sensitive gauge would allow you to be able to properly control how much fluid you're getting delivered. It's also useful if you need very precise control of the amount of paint you're supplying. As you see, this is a picture of your air motor on top here. Kind of go around and show you that. And then we'll open these up so you can see inside. Alright, so we'll show you the inside. So this is another difference that you can get with a higher end paint pressure pot, these Binks pots. Again, if you're using it for as a contractor, spraying regularly, you're a manufacturer, you want something that will last, these are a great solution. Now, if you're just doing a single project, occasional weekend work, a $100 pot from somewhere else might make great sense. So we'll show you the inside of the pot. So some of the things here, one thing, let me see the inside of that lid, please. You'll see here, the inside of the lid has a gasket that's replaceable. Common issue with lower price pots are that they leak and they won't hold well. Part of that's the ASME certification, part of that's how the bolts are constructed on the unit itself. These don't leak, you can pressurize them and tighten them down and you won't get a leak. Additionally, there's also the liners that allow for quick change as mentioned. Go ahead and put the pot on, lid on, and I'll show you here, I want to show you the gap, go ahead and lift up, between the bottom of the pot and the pickup tube. So you can see it's really a tight fit. You can trim that down so you can work out of a smaller can or 1-quart can or 1-gallon can if you want. So this is the gear reduced agitator. That's the standard agitator that will come on a pot, but you can get anything you would need. And as you see, it has two, so you mix in there, and then this is designed so you can put a 5-gallon bucket right inside of it. So that's the pot with the 5-gallon bucket inside. You can take the lid off and then you use the agitator and pot lid right on inside the bucket. Keeps cleanup down significantly. Again, that's the 5-gallon Binks pressure pot. From there you can get into a 10 or 15 gallon. They go up 60 gallons, or if you need something bigger, a custom paint pressure pot is offered as well. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll help you out in any way we can.